Hey everybody, this is Cody and I'm going to show you about Active Directory and how to install or use group policy. Okay, first thing you're going to need is Windows Server 2012 R2. I have a clean install right here. I'm going to make this a domain controller with DHCP and DNS, although it is not necessary. To start off here, I'm just going to let you know that I'm hoping you guys have a little bit of prior knowledge with group policy and at least what it is, because I'm going to try and make this video fairly quick here. I'm just going to run through the basics, but group policy is just a way to manage the users over your network without having to look over their shoulder, basically. It's a really good tool when working with a lot of people, and in reality, even with just a couple people, it can prove to be useful. So let's go to Server Manager, and we'll just add roles and features. We'll go to next on the before you begin page. We're going to want to make sure it's role-based or feature-based installation. Server type or selection. We'll just pick the server that we have. Now server roles, we're going to want to make sure to pick Active Directory Domain Services, add those features. DHCP in my case, and DNS. You don't have to, and I'm not going to go over how to configure these, but if you go to codyeveringham.com, there's a manual page there, and you will find a manual that goes over everything that we're going on in this video. It'll go into more detail as well. So if you're looking for anything, if you're new to Windows Server 2012, I recommend going to that manual. Even if you're new to Windows Server in general, they stay fairly close from version to version. So we'll go to next here. We'll go to, we're just going to keep these at the default features. It'll tell us about the things we just added. Now we'll install it. Something to note, when we add these roles, after this installation happens, we're going to promote it to a domain controller. Now you need to be signed in as an administrator of account. This is not my administrator account, so I will switch out after this, but I'm just letting you know that we will come across an error if I didn't do that. So this won't take too long here, just a couple more seconds, I guess. Okay, there we go. Now we can switch user. We'll do administrator. Oh, I gotta switch the password here real quick. Perfect. Okay. Now we'll have two. Oh, actually, to prove that we just installed everything that we did, we have Active Directory Domain Services, DHCP, and DNS all right here. Now, we'll come across two cautions probably. Yep. First of all, complete DHCP configuration. We don't need to do that right now, but like I said, I recommend looking up how to do that, and then we'll promote the server to a domain controller. Okay, this is a new for us. This is a standalone server. I don't need any prerequisite software. I don't need any other server to make this work. All I need is right here. Cool. It'll be codyeveringham.com. This name is not really important. I just kind of used it so I would know what it is. Click on next. Put in your DSRM password. Click next. Next again. And here we'll put in our net BIOS name, but it gives you a default one. I just recommend keeping the one that they give you. If you find it necessary, you can change it though. And the next page we'll hit is the paths page, which will show where our database will be saved to. And this looks fine to me. Okay, we can review what we just did, and it'll do a prerequisite check. Now, if you were signed in as that non-administrative account, we would see an error right here that we're not signed in the right account. But everything looks to be good, and we can install it. Okay. I will go ahead and pause this, and I'll get back to you guys when it's all set. Okay, now that that's all set, it is restarted as well. We can go ahead and do the rest of this. Okay. So now, still have a caution under the DHCP, but that's okay. Go ahead and go to Tools. Let's go to Group Policy Management. Now this is the fun part of group policy because it's very artistic. You get to pick how broad or descriptive you want to be in the restrictions you give to your coworkers. So let's go to our forest, find our domain. There it is, codeeverham.com. Go to Group Policy Objects. Here we have the two default ones, default default domain controllers policy and default domain policy. Now if you right click this, you can make a new group policy, but I'm just going to edit one we already have. Maybe not. Okay, I'll make a new one, I guess. Okay, so we'll make one called, let's do remove task manager. Did I spell that right? Man. Close enough. Okay. Now, we can right click that, go to edit. Here we can go to, first I want to explain the difference between computer configuration and user configuration. If you had a business with one computer for some odd reason, computer configuration would only affect the users on this computer. However, user configuration will configure all users across the whole network. So we'll do this. Typically, you'll be working with this. Go to Policies, Administrative Template. We'll go to All Settings here. And here is where you get to spend a lot of your time if you want to learn about group policy, because this is a huge list of things you can do to your clients. So we'll go to the R's and find remove. There we go. And let's look for remove task manager. There it is. Right click it and go to edit. Now this can be a little bit confusing, so let me explain. And some of you might get this right away, but remove task manager, we want that enabled. So we enable to remove the task manager for them. We don't disable to disable the task manager. So it's kind of, they kind of made it a little confusing there for some of us, but you want this enabled. So we enable it, apply it, and click OK. We're not done quite yet though. Now we can exit out of this, and here we can see our organizational units. Now if we go to codeabraham.com, right click it and put new organizational unit, we can call this standard. And this is where we will be putting the users that we don't want to use the task manager in. So I know some of you will come across an error later on, possibly, so we're going to go ahead and make sure this doesn't happen. Go to default domain controllers policy. Go to, oops, I'm sorry, we're going to, where's our, okay, we're going to link an existing GPO. We'll do these two, click OK. And I'm going to switch accounts and see something really quick here. Administrator. Tools. We'll go back to Group Policy Management, Forest, Domains, Cody Everham, Group Policy Objects. Now, okay, what happened is I didn't have the permissions to edit this group policy. Now I do. So to make it easier, I'm just going to delete the one that we made earlier, remove task manager, and change it in this default domain controller policy. So edit. I'm going to do the same thing we just did. find remove. Okay, remove task manager, edit, enable, apply, okay. Now, let's go to computer configuration, policies, Windows settings, and we'll get back to this in a little bit. So we can minimize this. We can right click standard, make sure we link those GPOs, and we did. Okay, from the server manager we can go to tools, users and computers. Here we can add a new user, so we'll go to our domain, codyeveringham.com, go to standard, and let's add a new user. So we'll go to new user and fill out the information here. So we'll call it Mark. And we'll make that password not expire because this is just in a lab here. So we'll finish that up. And now that that's in there, we can go back to our GPO editor, or GP manager, minimize that, go to our group policy management editor, go to security, so we're in computer configuration, policies, Windows settings, security, local policies, user right assignment, and we'll go to log on locally. This is just to edit for this computer so that I can log on this computer. Go to properties, we'll add a user or group, we'll do browse, and we'll find that new user I just made, so check names, and there it is. Okay, okay, apply, okay. That's all set. There's our user, all set, and this is all set as well. We'll do one last thing before we test this. So in the PowerShell we'll update the group policy. So group policy update / force. We'll update that real quick. There we go, successful. We will switch users. Let's see. Here's that new profile I just created. Signing in. And as you can see, I can open File Explorer. I think I should get the server. No, don't get the server manager. So now we'll open Task Manager. It's not even letting me do that, so that's good. And from here, you can see that's not even highlighted. I am unable to open the Task Manager on this account now. So now you know how to configure or enable group policies onto users. There's a lot to learn about this. I didn't even scratch the surface with how many things you can do with this. I just wanted to teach you guys how to start, where to look, and really from there it's all up to how much you want to know. There are paid books that are 600 pages on group policy alone. You can find more information on my website, codyeveringham.com. It has a manual. Other than that, thank you guys for watching, and I think we're all set.